But first, a prison guard's loved one asked New York for understanding.
Never was it 24 hours. Never was it 24-hour shifts, 3 of them in 5 days.
That loved one with firsthand experience as a guard speaks out on the working conditions. Today is the 10th straight day of prison guard strikes at state prisons all across New York.
And the administration of Governor Kathy Hochul is moving closer to taking legal action over the unauthorized strikes. It's illegal for public workers to strike in New York. According to the Albany Times-Union, the names of more than 330 striking guards were added to an amended court petition filed in state Supreme Court in Erie County this week. The guards could be held in contempt of a court order that told them to return to work last week. The guards say they're striking for safer working conditions, including an end to restrictions on solitary confinement. But they also walked out because of work hours and staffing shortages.
Even the head of corrections said the system is critically understaffed. Chief Investigative reporter Berkeley Brean is on this today. And Burke, you just watched the commissioner get peppered with questions from lawmakers just before the start of the strike.
Yeah,
right?
This is the hearing in Albany here, Deanna. The strike happened 3 days after this hearing. The commissioner of corrections was pushed on staffing, safety, and pay.
Certainly, the staffing issue in the Department of Corrections is the #1 issue in the state of New York of any agency that we have.
Robert Rollison is a senator from Poughkeepsie. There are 2 prisons in his district.
I believe we're over 2,000 uniformed officers short, 1,000 civilian staff. I mean, those numbers are absolutely staggering.
We are down 2,200 correction officers, but yet we're still putting staff on posts as we did 20, 30 years ago.
Corrections Commissioner Daniel Marticello says they are trying to get around staffing rules from decades ago that will free up prison guards and help add more of them.
Mandatory overtime, sometimes triple overtime. It makes me wonder who would want to do this job.
We increased the starting salary of the correction officer position by over $6,700.
But still, $56,000 is woefully inadequate.
And then we entered into
woefully inadequate.
Okay. Then we entered into a collective bargaining agreement, which the membership ratified with raises across the board.
I appreciate what you said, but I do think we need to bump that pay higher. We need more recruitment bonuses and retention bonuses to keep them in.
The state is waiving a residency rule, so now corrections can hire people from bordering states just like the rest of the country. So here's an example of what we're talking about. Brett and Deanna, they had a job fair in Elmira a couple of years ago. The commissioner said they got calls from 600 people from Pennsylvania who wanted to apply. They couldn't consider them because they lived in PA, but now they will.
Interesting. Now, the commissioner was talking about old staffing rules. Give us an example of that.
All right, so the example he used is he could have an instructor and an electrician with grade A tools in a prison setting with inmates and not required to have a guard next to them. But as soon as an inmate went outside, got on a lawnmower to mow the lawn, he's got to have a guard next to him or her the whole time.
Huh.
Wow.
So those are the kinds of rules he's talking about that existed 20, 30 years ago that they think maybe they can do away with and just have better efficiency.
A lot to weed through there.
So Burke, at 6, you're back with new security measures in prisons. So of course we'll see you then, and we really look forward to that report.
Yeah. Thanks, Burke. One of the issues guards say they're striking over is mandatory overtime and nearly consecutive 24-hour shifts with only a few hours of off time in between them. News 10 NBC spoke to one retired guard and loved one of a current guard. She says she's made it a practice to reach out to her loved one at the end of their 24-hour shifts to make sure they got home safely.
They have to keep themselves safe. They have to keep their coworkers safe. They have to keep the inmates safe. And after 24 hours, a normal person cannot function like that. The governor has children. What if one of her children decided to be a correction officer and was going through this?
Understaffing is a serious problem in state prisons. State corrections is short 2,200 guards and 1,000 people to fill civilian jobs.